Hello guys, today we are doing a full platform review of Firefish. Firefish is a Bitcoin-backed peer-to-peer credit platform, and today I will lead you step by step through the process of getting a credit through Firefish by using Bitcoin as a collateral. And we are also looking at the side from an investor, how can you invest in Firefish and get interest, relatively high interest rate on your fiat money like Euro or Swiss franc or USDC stablecoin. And before you watch this video and before you use Firefish, I would highly recommend watching my videos to the chances and also the risks about Firefish, where I deep more into like the philosophy and the idea behind Firefish and the associated risk using such a peer-to-peer Bitcoin-backed credit market. And because there are risks, it's not risk-free like Bitcoin when you hold it on a hardware wallet. It's more like trust minimized. Trust is a better word than risk. It's a trust minimized platform which connects people who want to invest and people who want to use their Bitcoin as a security to get a credit. So, and this is all no financial advice. I'm just an educator and I like to talk about Firefish and living a lifestyle where you never have to sell your Bitcoin. And if you want to support my educational work, you can use Firefish. Click on the link in the video description and use my code NEVERSELL, and then you get 30% discount on your first credit, and I will get some support for my educational work. So, but let's start. So before you're going to use Firefish, you have to register and do a normal KYC verification. Because Firefish is a normal regulated company, they also have to comply, unfortunately, with KYC rules. So you have to make a picture of your passport, for example, and give a lot of personal information. There is no way around it, and it's the same process like when you register for a Bitcoin platform where you buy Bitcoin. They also have to use to take your KYC information. So after you did that and you want to get a credit from the platform, you go here on the Firefish app. It's a browser-based app, and you click on borrow, and then you can request a loan. Firefish, as I said, is a peer-to-peer platform. It's a little bit like eBay, so you make an offer, and then you hope that some other counterparty takes on your offer. You type in your amount which you want. So in this case, I want 5,000 euro, and you can select different loan periods from 3 months to 24 months. So in this case, I'm going to go for 12 months, and I'm going to set the interest rate. And of course, you want to pay as low interest as possible because you want to save cost on the interest. But if you do it too low, then nobody will take your offer. So you have to orient yourself on the interest rate on the market, because it's a free marketplace. Nobody is determining the interest rate. It just depends of individuals selecting your like credit. And you see here, if you do a really high interest rate of 15%, the matching probability is really high. So you have to see that you don't overpay in interest. So if you go for 10%, it's still high. If you go for 9.5, it's medium. And yeah, that's like a calculation from Firefish, which says how easy it will be that your credit is taken by the market. And if you go like 6.5, it's really low. So what I would do, I would orient myself on this matching probability. And if you want it as fast as possible, you go for very high. But there's also another option. You can get an instant loan where you can get directly a loan. And at the moment, the rate for 11.9% is the instant loan rate is 11.9%. And you will have then only 1 to 2 days to the start date. So it's relatively quick. So, but in this case, we do a standard loan, and we should be lower than 11.9% because otherwise we would be overpaying. So we go here, for example, to 8.58% is low, and they make a warning or they give you a tip. You can look at the loans marketplace, and I would also highly recommend that you get like a feeling about how the platform works and what's the interest rate at the moment. And then you can here have different settings. 12 months is our duration. You have different currencies: euro, Czech, Swiss franc, and the stablecoin USDC. We use euro. And you have here the matched credits. And you see 3 hours ago there was like a match between two parties, and it was at 10%. And 16 hours ago it was 10%. Then the next one is the instant loan, we can ignore that. And yeah, on 12th September, which was yesterday, it was also 10%. So you see, if you select 10%, it's really high the chance that your credit is going to be taken. And you can also see what are other offers which are available now at the moment. And you see there's a lot of credit offers around 9%, 8%. It's around our sum. It's amount here. It's 7,000 euro, a little bit higher than ours. And here you see offers for 9.5% and 9%. So that means when we go back to our instructions or to our selections, then we can be quite sure that if we do 10%, it will be selected quite quickly, because in the past there was a lot of matching at 10%, and we also are higher than all the other amounts for 12 months at the moment on the market. So I will go back, and because I also want to get it relatively quick, I use 10% now. I mean, if you have more time, then I would definitely recommend, okay, go on with 9 or 9.5 and just wait a little bit, wait a couple of days or weeks and see if someone is like taking your offer. There's no problem with that, and even if it's too low, you can just cancel it and do another one. So, but in this case, I want to have the money relatively quick. I use 10%. Here on the right, you see I want 5,000 euro. I pay interest rate of 10%, and that means after the credit period, the loan period, I have to pay back the interest rate and also the investment, which is in this case 5,500 euro, or the loan amount, better said. And here you have like a fee of Firefish, it's 1.5%. If you use my discount code never sell, then it's cheaper for you. You save 30%, and you only have to pay 1% for the first loan, and you support my work, which I would really appreciate. And the network fee is the fee which you have to pay when you do transactions on the Bitcoin network. And now the most important part, the Bitcoin collateral. You have to secure this loan with 0.11129 Bitcoin, and that's double the credit amount. So in this case, it's Bitcoin which are worth of 11,000 euro, because that's doubled 5,500 euro. And of course, that's an approximation, because when you do the deal, so or when someone accepts it, then you use the Bitcoin price at that time and moment. But yeah, that's the approximation at this time. And really important to understand, if the Bitcoin price drops under the credit value, then you get automatically liquidated. So it's important that if the Bitcoin price is dropping sharply, and in this case it's around 50%, then you have to, before that happens and you get liquidated, you have to add Bitcoin to your collateral so that your credit is still secured. Because the platform is built that people who are the investors, that they never default, that their investment is always covered by Bitcoin. And yeah, so that's the idea of the platform. So in this case, I will now submit the loan request, and then I go back to the dashboard, and then I see it here. I see I want 5,000 euro, period 12 months, interest rate 10%, and it will expire in 1 month. And here I can cancel it under action. So that's it for now. Now I have to wait, and hopefully someone will invest in this credit and is happy to lend me money, which which is secured by Bitcoin, by my Bitcoin. Hello guys, as I said, I'm back when someone is taking my loan offer, and after one day, another individual took my loan offer, and now we are proceeding with the process. Now we have to agree to the contract, which is pre-written by Firefish. It's a standard contract, and we have to send Bitcoin into the multi-sig escrow to secure the loan with our Bitcoin. And therefore I'm going to share my screen. You see here the pending loan, that's the 5,000 euro. Someone is interested and we have a match, that means the loan is pending, we have to move on now. And on the right side you see an active loan. That's a loan where I already have sent collateral to, and a guy provided me already with the money. And here on the right corner you see the maturity day. So on 6th of January 2026 I have to pay this loan back. The loan is about 15,000 euro, and with interest I have to pay, because the interest you always pay at the end of the loan period, and therefore I have to pay back 16,575 euro. And as you can see, my collateral health is at 242%. That means my loan is more than 200% secured, because I did just add more Bitcoin because I'm really conservative and I want to have a lot of like collateral so I don't get liquidated if the Bitcoin price falls. And as you can see here, the Bitcoin price has to fall to 30,779 so that I get liquidated, and my Bitcoin is going to the creditor, the person who did lend me money. And yeah, so but even if I see, of course, Bitcoin drops sharply and maybe it will go to 50,000 euro, then I can add more security, more collateral in the form of Bitcoin, so I don't get liquidated. And that's, yeah, it's really important to not get liquidated. So be really conservative when using this platform. That's my advice. So now we are going on with our new matched loan. You see here the loan amount is 5,000 euro. We have 1 year duration, 12 months, and we have to pay an interest of 10%. For my active loan I have to pay 10.5%, so this time I got a little bit better interest rate, which is nice, but it's still a high interest rate. And of course you can see here the amount due is 5,500 euro, so that's the principal plus the interest, and I have to send into the collateral approximately 0.11 blah 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 Bitcoin. And there's like one origination fee, that's the fee which goes to Firefish, that's how they earn their money. So it's, in my opinion, a really transparent business model. You just have to pay 1.5% in fees, which is called here origination fee. And then you have a processing fee, that's like also an estimate for the Bitcoin blockchain transactions. And you have to pay a Bitcoin collateral. I mean, that's the biggest part. That's the Bitcoin which are securing this new credit, and there you have to send in 0.111 blah 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 Bitcoin. And now we can move on. But before we have to move on, here's the maturity date. It will be 21st of September 2026. So in 1 year from now. And yeah, that's everything which we need to know here. And there you can see I would have time until the 19th September to proceed. And yeah, afterwards you will get like problems, and maybe it will not happen. So please be in time. So yeah, I will go now on with locking the collateral. And then you see here on the right side the pending loan, and then you see a lot of information again about the loan amount, 5,000 euro, interest rate 10%, and the interest amount is 500 euro, and that means you have to pay 5,500 euro, and the loan provision date is 21st of September 2025, that is in 6 days, and the maturity day is 21st of September 2026. And that's the Bitcoin collateral which you have to put in, and the liquidation LTV, it's 95%. That means it's not 100%, because there is an extra 5% fee if you get liquidated to cover the cost of liquidation. So just don't get liquidated because you will have this fee anyway. And now you have here the bank transfer information, and I use the technique so that you cannot see it here to protect the privacy of my bank account and the lender's bank account. But normally you see here your own bank account, and you also see the lender's bank account and the payment identifier, which has to be used. Yeah, when the lender send you the money, he will use this payment identifier. And one important thing is, if you should not change your bank account during the credit process. So if you, because the bank account is in the contract with the lender. So if I pay back the money with another bank account, that is not good, and it would be a breach of contract, and the lender could not accept this new bank account. So please use the same bank account so that you don't breach the contract. And if you change your bank account, you have to inform the customer service of Firefish, and then there is a process for it, just for your information. Normally you don't change your bank account so often, but that's something you have to consider. If you change it, just inform Firefish in time. So, and here now you have to, I've read and agree to the terms of service, including the collateral escrow rules and the distribution escrow rules. Now you have to accept like all the rules which Firefish makes, and now you also confirm the loan details, and you enter a legally binding agreement, and the details are in the loan and security agreement. And now if you confirm loan details, you have to now it's like a legally binding contract. So, and I'm going to do that now. And yeah, and just for your understanding, as I said, Firefish has not like direct access to your Bitcoin, because it's in an escrow setup, and there's only two ways out of this escrow setup. The Bitcoin can either go to you or it can go to the creditor. It's a two-way street, but you have to trust Firefish that they do a good job and send the Bitcoin in the right way. So if you pay your money back to the creditor, you have to trust Firefish that they press the right button on their side and pay you the Bitcoin back. So they can't steal your money, but you have to trust them that they fulfill the promise which they made in the contract. And so now we are going to do the escrow setup, and it's really simple. You can use it if you know how to do a Bitcoin transaction. So let's go. Okay, now it's really important. You have to confirm again your Firefish password, and please secure your Firefish password so that you have access to your Firefish account, and they will ask you again for it. And here's mine, and here's also information for advanced users. Okay, you should read that. That's really important information for advanced users. It's important that you have to maybe enter your password again during the setup process, so you should really have it on hand. Okay, so please just have this password on hand, otherwise it can be even lead to the loss of your Bitcoin collateral. So just have this Firefish password on hand. So I'm confirming it now to go on in the process. And now you have to have your hardware wallet ready, or your normal Bitcoin wallet, but I would not recommend it to do a direct transfer from a crypto exchange like Coinbase or something like that. And especially your Bitcoin return address that I think we read it here. Now you have to give your Bitcoin return address, and that's the address where when you pay back your loan, the Bitcoin is returned to this address. So you have to have it under full control. So I think for big amounts, it's good to have a hardware wallet or a software wallet, but I would recommend a hardware wallet, especially for big amounts, which is a cold wallet. The thing is, you can't change this address during the lifetime of the loan. And yeah, don't use any address which belongs to a crypto exchange. I already hinted on that. And just use an address where you have the control. And please be careful, check the first six and the last six letters of the address so that it's really the correct address. And now I will look for my Bitcoin address and enter it. See you in a sec. So I did enter my Bitcoin address, but I hid it here because of privacy reasons. So normally you see here your Bitcoin address, and please check that it's the correct one. It cannot be changed, and your Bitcoin will get back to this address. So now here normally you will see your Bitcoin address. I hid it again because of privacy reasons. Please check your Bitcoin address again, and then you can confirm and continue. So I checked it. It is my Bitcoin address, and I'm going to confirm and continue. So after we confirmed our Bitcoin address, we are ready to do the funding of the Bitcoin collateral into the multi-sig escrow. And here it's really important not using replace by fee or any fee bump. Even if your wallet can do it, just don't do it. And do not send less Bitcoin than the amount displayed below. So you have to send this amount to this destination. You just have to send this Bitcoin amount to this address or to this address. That's the address as a QR code, and that's the address. Just you can copy it and just do the transaction. And here's more information for advanced users. So you can here download the plain text backup data. I would really recommend it, because in the case that Firefish is disappearing for some reason, imagine there's a bomb dropping on the Firefish company and all the employees are away and all the owners of Firefish are away. Just imagine the worst case. Then you can use this backup data, and after a locking time, you can return your collateral. So the Bitcoin which you secured or which you sent as a collateral in the multi-sig escrow, you can get it back. And that's like, you will not use it normally, and I'm pretty sure you will never use it, but just in case, just in the worst case. So now I'm going to fund this address, and then I have to wait until the transaction is confirmed. Now you can see I did a transaction, and then after the transaction is confirmed, you saw like my picture switched because the transaction didn't went through, but now it's like the transaction went through, and I can finally finalize my escrow. I have successfully generated and pre-signed all necessary transactions, allowing you to secure your loan. That's what he is stated. After completing the escrow setup, you will receive funds directly to your bank account. And then now here's information for advanced users. That's a thing which I already mentioned before in the recovery transaction. That's when Firefish and the whole Oracle infrastructure is disappearing. It's highly unlikely, but still, just download the recovery transaction, and that gives you another layer of security. Now we did the transaction went through, it is confirmed, and now we can go on complete setup. And now the Bitcoin escrow has been created successfully, and now it's again the turn of the investor. He has to send the money to me, and okay, I have to correct myself. Um, the transaction has been done, but now we are waiting for the network confirmation. So, as when the transaction went through, then the investor is instructed, yeah, to send me the money. So at the moment we just have to do nothing. We just have to wait. Um, After, yeah, the Bitcoin network confirms my transactions for the collateral, and then the investor will have to take action. So now my Bitcoin transaction, which sent the collateral, is done and confirmed by the Bitcoin network. And now it shows here that it's now the investor has the task to transfer to me the 5,000 euro to my bank account. And after that, I will confirm that I received the money, and then the loan is set and it's an active loan, as you can see here like that on the right side. And then I just have to pay the loan back, and then I will also receive my collateral back. And yeah, that's it. So that's how you can get a credit through Firefish. So we already did a full platform review for the borrower. If you want to borrow money and use your Bitcoin as a collateral to secure the credit, and now we are going to look it from the other side, from the side of an investor who is lending out money to other people, which securing it through their Bitcoin. And therefore we go here on invest, and we select the duration of the loan. In this case, I want to have it for 1 year. I want to have the currency euro, and there are other currencies like Czech krone, USDC, that's a stable coin, or Swiss francs. I want to have 5,000, I want to invest 5,000 euro, and I'm looking at all the available investments, and I'm sorting. So I'm looking for an interest rate which is high as possible, and the lowest interest rate at the moment are 5.5%. Of course, we are not going to do them. So we want the highest interest rate, which is 9.5%. And if you say that's not enough for you, I want to have a higher interest rate, then you can also do a watchdog. You can create a watchdog, and then you get just like a reminder, or a reminder through your email. For example, you can select 2,500 to 7,500 for 12 months, and you say, okay, I want to get 12%, which is higher than at the moment, and then you create a new watchdog, and then you will get an email if there is like this kind of offer on the market. So that if you have time and you want to maximize your interest, I highly recommend to do a watchdog. But for now, we are going with the highest offer, 9.5%. That means you will the credit starts, or the investment starts on 22nd of September 2025, and it ends after 1 year. And you will earn 475 euro on your 5,000 euro investment. So you can create now, you can invest now. And here you see your bank account. You have to confirm it. That's really important, because the bank account will be also written in the contract. So check if it's your right bank account, and then you press continue. And then now it's a really important part. If there's two cases where the Bitcoin collateral, so Bitcoin is used as a collateral, which which will definitely protect you from a default. So even if the borrower doesn't pay back the money, you have his Bitcoin, which protects you completely. Or if the collateral value drops so much and the borrower doesn't add an additional Bitcoin as a security, or as a collateral, then he will also get liquidated. in the end you will not lose your investment because there's always enough Bitcoin to secure your loan. So there is no default risk compared to other investments. If you, for example, if you buy a government bond for a really like unstable country, then there is a default risk, and this country has a really bad credit rating. But in this case, there is no default risk, and you can select between two liquidation methods. One is Firefish is doing the liquidation for you. That's easier. If you then you will just receive the fiat money if there is a case of liquidation, and but you have to trust Firefish more that they do it correctly. You put more trust into Firefish in this case, and also the 5% fee goes to Firefish and their partners. And if you do like a self-managed liquidation, which is called here advanced, then you provide your own Bitcoin address, and in case of a liquidation, so if the borrower doesn't pay back the money or the Bitcoin in the collateral drops sharply in value, so it doesn't cover anymore like the credit value, then there is a liquidation event, and then you get it to your own Bitcoin address. And please use an address where you control, not from a exchange or something like that. And please be sure that it is the correct Bitcoin address. It cannot be changed afterwards. It has to be the correct one. And yeah, but for the purpose of this video, I just go on continue, and then before you make the agreement to do the investment, you see here the loan amount, again the interest rate, the interest amount 475 euro, and the maturity date when the borrower has to pay the money back. And you see here also the collateral which is securing your Bitcoin. And you see the liquidation LTV, which is 95%. That means there is 5% missing, because that's the fee for the liquidation. But that's good for you as an investor. So this 5%, if you use your own Bitcoin address, you get in a liquidation event even more Bitcoin. So that's a little benefit. If you use your own Bitcoin address, then the 5% fee goes to you. And I would highly recommend to read these contract or these papers here. And then if you sign these two buttons, you confirm the investment, and then you have to transfer the money to the borrower, and the borrower will pay back the money after the loan time or loan duration. And if he not pays back the money, then you get his Bitcoin. And you can, I will not do it right at the moment, I just did it for the purpose of this video. I press now cancel investment. At this stage, if you didn't confirm the investment, you can do that without any repercussions. And so that's from my side. And if you want to support my educational work, I would be really happy if you use my code never sell. You have to use the code when you are registering for Firefish, and you can also use the link put in the video description. That would be really good for me, so that I have like some support for my educational work. But the code will give you discount only on your first credit on the borrower side, and for the investor side it will not make a difference. And please take in mind that that is only education. I'm not a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. I just like the platform Firefish, and I like to make videos about it. And I wish you a nice evening. And if you have any questions from the borrower side or the investor side, please write the questions in the comments. I think I covered a lot, but I think there is still, maybe there come up a lot of questions, so just write them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them. So I wish you a nice day.